Hello, everybody. How's it going? Welcome to this Wednesday night special edition, the LUCKDOWN, episode number 36. Guys, crazy. It's mad. Where's the time gone? I have no idea. And welcome also to the Acoustic Elements fans. You're probably like, who is this crazy girl with the feathers in her hair? My name's Jules. I'm from the band GoodLuck, and we host this weekly show on our page called the LUCKDOWN. It's all about positivity, keeping everyone inspired and connected during these crazy, mad times. And why am I wearing feathers? This isn't normal. I'm going to get to that a little bit later. But we have got a seriously cool episode planned for you today. Hey guys, we're starting off with Jen Clements, and she is a sobriety coach, and she is also the co-owner of Thrivalist, which is an awesome company. And, you know, we're going to answer questions like, when is a good time to get sober? Do you have a drinking problem? Do I have a drinking problem? At what point do you actually decide that you need to challenge yourself and go on the sobriety journey? We're going to answer all those questions. Very exciting. And then our very own Tim is taking us on a brand new journey tonight. We've got this new section because we've got this guy called Tim. He joined our band just before lockdown. He's an awesome fella. But, you know, a lot of people have been like, who is Tim? Tell us more about him. We need to know. So we started a section called Tim Takes Us To, and that's going to be coming up a little bit later. Very, very exciting. And then, guys, have an epic and very awesome announcement. Part of the reason why I'm wearing all these celebratory feathers. So do stay tuned for that. It's going to be epic. We are going to share it with you in just a few minutes' time. So stick around. Big news. And then we're also giving you a regular sneak peek into the weekly lives and adventures of GoodLuck in our GoodLuck band diary. It's obviously been a very busy week. We've been working on some exciting stuff, lots of new music, lots of new adventures. So we're going to be giving you our little weekly synopsis on that. And then kicking off the show, this is super exciting. Ben, you know Ben, he's our producer. He's normally cooking up beats in the studio. He is going to be cooking for the first time on the show with a multi-award winning celebrity chef. She's a local and a global food icon. She's written books. She has shows on TV. And she's the author of best-selling cookbook, My Table. Sibam Tongana, guys, is cooking live on the LUCKDOWN with Ben. Don't go anywhere. Get your recipe books out. Take notes. You're going to love this one. Check it out.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Cooking with Ben on the LUCKDOWN. You know that I just can't help myself. Food has become a saving grace for me during this period. Since I can't gig around the world, now I've turned my passions and loves and focus into spending more time in the kitchen. And today I'm joined by someone who I have a massive celebrity crush on because I've been watching you on TV for many years and I'm just like blown away by everything you do. It's Siba, of course. Yay. And we're going to be making something out of your cooking book that I actually brought through today. This is my copy. It's from 2015. Hey? Wow, yes. I can't believe this is like going that quickly. And it's a really cool recipe that's taking sticky chicken wings to like a whole new level. Wonderful.
I was about to do those levels.
It's good. I'm glad we didn't break any crockery. But now you made this in 2015. Like this must have been like the beginning of it all for you, right?
Yeah, it was actually, and I self-published it. And I always tell the story and say, all my love, you know, and all my money, and my husband's money.
Went into
this, you know, we gave it so much love. And at the time, you know, people were not, I wanted to make a book that really resonated with South Africans, calling coriander a coriander, not a cilantro, or calling, you know, like local ingredients.
I love that.
You know,
I love that.
And I knew I had a market and I knew that this will sell. I just decided I just want to do it. And also I wanted to put my own stamp, not be told, do it like this.
Not having anyone leaning over your shoulder going like this is how it needs to be.
Yes.
So you did everything. You made the recipes,
everything,
styled it.
No, didn't style it.
Okay.
No. So I do believe in having my core expertise and food. You know, food is, you know, I dream food, I love food, I do food. That food is, you know, it's me. I really do. Yeah. So, but because I didn't want to be a jack of all trades with this, and I really wanted to be incredible, I wanted to take myself out of it and then project my lens through someone else's eye who does styling
Yeah.
and food photography
Yeah.
specifically.
And then really like just make what you've, all the love and passion you put into it look the way that you feel like it does in your
best represents me.
You know, we do this in the music business.
Oh, you do?
Well, we write songs, we record songs, and we hand them over to someone to polish them and make them sound exactly how we wanted them.
Yes.
That person's actually got the hard job because everyone's going to make it as good as it needs to.
Is it as expensive in your field as
Listen,
it is in
it
mine?
can be. It can be.
Gosh.
I mean, there are albums we've recorded that have cost crazy amounts of money.
Yes.
But so the thing that I liked about this is that we're coming out of winter.
Yeah.
I know it doesn't feel like that for everyone, but like, you know, the sun is on the horizon. It's there. We're nearly there. You know, there's light at the end of the tunnel. And what I like about this dish is that you could turn it into a stir fry. It can be a summer salad. It can be like a really hearty family meal.
Yes.
And it's just such a cool play on chicken wings because I feel like it's actually like kind of in some ways my favorite part of the chicken. I think it's just such an interesting like cut of the bird. And they basically get bastardized into either zinger wings or like buffalo wings. And it's just like, they're always
I know.
and they're actually like
fried.
delicious.
Yeah, and you know that's the whole concept when I created this recipe. I wanted a flavor, you know, a flavor explosion, but on such a simple a portion or cut of the chicken wing. And because I'm a mom, I'm a mother of 4 kids. Four kids.
I didn't know you
or
had 4
under
children
8.
as well.
Oh yeah, I do.
How have you managed to do that? Like, thank you, girl.
I've been busy.
Oh, yeah.
Very busy. So many things. Busy in my company, busy here, busy there. Yeah, I've been busy. You know, and my kids love it. You know, in fact, if they could have this for supper, they would have it on a daily basis. So it's one of those recipes that is able to please, you know, adults and also kids. So
and this plays on your love of putting kind of Asian flavors into a South African context. I love it. Okay, so let's get started. What's first step?
So first step is you need your beautiful chicken wings.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
If they can be free range.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yes, good.
Not the end of the world. And then I've got a few marinated ingredients with it. I go for a smoky barbecue sauce that is nicely smoked. I've got some soy sauce over here, and then some sweet chili. And then my magic ingredient is the sesame oil.
It's a wonderful thing.
It's
just got like a
really
savoriness to it that is like, it's nutty, it's smoky, it's like, you know, it's aromatic in all the right ways.
Oh my goodness. And it must be toasted. It must be toasted. It must be toasted sesame oil. So that's all there is.
And so, like, are you like me that it must just be by feel? Hey, we're not measuring things out here.
Not measuring.
I know we put everything into nice little bowls, but you know.
So just like this. So this is where my liquids go. So you're going to add those for me, please. Yeah. I'll give you.
And the smoky barbecue, like, is it any specific one or just any kind of like? Any one that you like. And what's nice is that because it's got soy sauce in it, it really complements it very well. And I'm going with all the soy sauce, or just a dash?
All of it. All of it.
Okay,
yes.
so quite a lot of soy sauce.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, those of you watching your sodium intake, be careful here. That's fine, get the low sodium one.
Yes, you do.
Chilled.
I'm actually
and then just regular sweet chili here.
Sweet chili, yeah, it balances it very well.
I see this is where some of the South Africanism is coming in.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I thought at some point that sweet chili was South African. It comes from Asia.
Well, I suppose, but I mean, it's basically become one of
our big staples. I know.
Okay. And so once these, would you marinate these overnight, or would you just leave them for a couple hours?
I like to marinate it overnight if I've got time. But if I don't have enough time, then an hour at least.
Yeah.
If not, 15 minutes. But there are times where I just want to pull everything together, and I don't marinate it at all. So it depends on how much time I've got.
And it's a nice little trick that you use. You use a spoon.
Yeah, so I just use a spoon, scrape it.
You're cutting off less, wasting less. You see, now during these tough times,
just
waste not, want not.
Yeah, and it's quite nice as well because just using your spoon, you scrape it, and then just remove the peel as much as possible.
And this ginger is going to go in here as well,
Yeah, so that is what's going to give it a very nice kick. I'm going to chop some garlic.
Yeah.
And it's about 2 cloves of garlic.
Perfect.
There we go. Would you like to do the honors?
He's been cooking,
so I just want to see.
My knuckles,
yes. It's on you.
Yeah.
Be careful. What's nice about the new ones that they're making now is that they've got a guard, which is, which prevents you from grating your knuckles.
But a microplane is something that I think every household should have. You can grate everything on it.
Yeah.
Chocolate, especially.
Yes. Parmesan.
Which I just like, it's so nice. You over a dish and you just come with a nice wedge of Parmesan. I'm falling in love with pecorino at the moment, which is the sheep's cheese version of Parmesan.
Yep.
And it's just like, it's a little bit more, all of it?
Yeah. Nope, not all of it. Let me see. That's enough, actually.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So like a nice kind of like, what would you call it? Like a tablespoon.
Tablespoon, yeah.
But again, it's not about measuring it out perfectly, right? It's about...
That's the beauty about this recipe. It's not baking. It's not the science that's needed.
Working the flavors. And you know what? If you put too much ginger in this time, next time you can put in less ginger. If you didn't put enough ginger in, you can put in more. And I like that about cooking. Like every meal is an opportunity to learn. Just like every song for us is an opportunity for us to learn.
Tell me about making a song. My husband actually used to be, in his early days, he used to be a music director for a band.
No way.
He used to be a drummer, he writes music.
Well, that's basically my job.
Is that what you do?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
So, I mean, I've kind of twisted it more into producing. But when I say that it's like cooking, it's like exactly the same. It's hilarious. Like, you're taking these raw ingredients. Sometimes they're like in their raw state, they're a bit, no one wants to eat raw chicken. But if you cover it in some amazing stuff, pop it under the grill for like 15 minutes, it suddenly turns into this thing that like everyone wants. And that's just like making songs. You're taking these things, you're combining them, you're pouring love into it, trying to get the balance of all the different elements right, and then you end up with this dish. And that's what people want. The only beautiful thing about it is that I get to repeatedly serve the same dish over and over again, whereas you have to make it every time. So now these pop under the grill, right?
Under the grill, at 200 degrees for about 20 minutes.
So what went in here? Let's just do a little recap. We had soy sauce, sesame seed oil, smoky barbecue, sweet chili, garlic, ginger. What did I miss?
That's it.
So no citrus, no zest of limes or anything.
So this is nice and optional.
Yeah.
If you wanted to have a little bit of citrus to it, you can add the zest.
Is it good to do that before the grilling, or should you do it afterwards?
Either. For the zest, you can do it before because it will then infuse very nicely, and for the liquid. Yes, and also you can also add the zest before and after, so it completely depends. So zest or no zest?
No, let's do it post. I kind of like that little little zing that you get. Okay, so we've already made some of these, cooking magic here. So let me pop these out of the way.
Yes, 200 degrees for about 20 minutes.
And look at how delicious they come out. Hey, isn't that nice? Look at that. Wow. And you want these little crispy. Don't think that's burned. That's beautiful. That's gone all like. Nice, it's a very, very nice thing. Okay, so what's the next step? Are we going to combine all the elements of the next phase of the salad / stir fry / delicious?
These never survive in my kitchen. Literally, the minute they cool down, my kids are like almost like fit cooks. Have you ever made fit cooks?
I've never made them, but I have eaten quite a few of them.
Like fit cooks, as soon as they come out of the pot, little hands come and eat. You usually have to place them in a higher space so they can reach them until we eat them. All right. I really like to serve them with a very nice salad. Yeah. And because we're going, we're moving away from winter now, I'm making it a raw salad, which is really nice.
It's also good. It's nice. Good way to consume vegetables, a lot more nutrients that are kept all together
in their natural state. Exactly. But what's nice about this recipe is that you can completely make it into stir fry, as you said earlier on. So a little bit of sesame oil.
So are we going to start combining all these ingredients?
Yes.
Can I pass these across? Yes. So you've got some beautifully cut peppers.
Yes.
And those just like regular red pepper.
Red pepper that I've just julienne.
And is this like your little sneaky secret way of getting your kids to eat vegetables?
Yes.
And they kind of get tricked into thinking that it's special spaghetti.
You know what it is? Yeah. With children, I have to do what moms have to do to get them to eat veg. So whatever that means. And I do tell white lies from time to time. and it works. And then when
Space
they're
noodles.
older,
Get some more space noodles.
yes. So this is. So I've got my red pepper, some carrots, and this is cucumbers. And if you were making this into a stir fry, you then replace this maybe with broccoli, because obviously you can't cook cucumber. Yeah. So broccoli is an alternative.
I mean, already look at that. It's a beautiful sort of like trifecta. What are the Italians call it? A tricolor
It's more there.
of cucumber, peppers, carrots. And
like
we've got all sorts of lovely other elements and microgreens.
Yes. So I like adding some baby corn to it, because everything else is a light crunch, because it's been nicely made into nice ribbons. And this one is a bigger crunch, so it gives a nice texture.
That textural thing.
Yeah, I like having a bit of texture to it.
And have you ever thought about like adding pumpkin seeds, like roasted pumpkin seeds? That's also yummy.
Yes, definitely. And
but then you've got one of my favorite things. So I love spring onion. I've only awake as scallions.
They call them scallions.
Yeah.
But it's spring onions, in South African term.
I always shied away from it. I always thought it was too punchy, like it was too much onion.
Yeah.
But actually they're a lot milder and sweeter than you think, and it almost becomes like seasoning rather than like an ingredient.
Yes.
Which is crazy.
Which was quite nice. So when we grew up, we had spring onions growing in our vegetable garden as kids. And in culinary school, they only use the white part, but traditionally we use the green part. So I use the entire stem.
So
I don't discard.
Did you?
Yeah.
They were like, no. But this is the thing: is that sometimes the parts, and I suppose it's French cooking that kind of like pushes it in that way. Thinking that they need to refine everything.
Everything, not necessarily.
One of my favorites, edamame beans, which are just absolutely delicious.
These ones I got them frozen. Don't judge.
No, it's not. You know that. So there's an interesting thought on frozen vegetables, right? So store-bought vegetables that you get in the fridge that are look like they're ready are actually picked before they're ripe.
Yeah, you're so right.
And then it can take like 5 days for it to actually get to the supermarket store. And during that time, they basically They've aged. Well, they started rotting. It's to put it mildly. But with frozen veggies, actually, they're picked at exactly the right time, last frozen, and actually can be even better than fresh veggies. So don't think it's.
No, but there is, unfortunately, as much as that is the truth from our side, but they still have such a bad reputation.
Yeah, no,
they need a lot more.
Look, I mean, the vegetables change when you freeze the water molecules in them. They are going to you can't. I don't think you can freeze cucumber. I think it would. End up coming out as
yes, unless if you're going to make a smoothie or you're gonna blend it, etc.
But frozen edamames come out great.
They do. And all you need to do is, what I do is I just put hot boiling water on them. I don't even cook them, because if I steam them for too long, then they lose that beautiful green color. They become light. I don't like it when it becomes yellowy. So I like them as they are, and you usually add a whole lot more. So I've got more if you want some.
And coming into spring a little bit closer, we'll start getting the pea crop in, and you could replace them with peas. So
Yeah. So some coriander.
Divine.
Cilantro. Coriander, dhania.
But I mean, this is such a beautiful. Salad / stir fry, which I'm loving. I think it's such a clever idea of like taking a dish and making it work for both seasons.
Yeah. So, and it's so easy as well. It's minimal, minimal effort. Yes.
Yeah, I like that. And I also like that there's not too much washing up then. You've got one baking tray, one chopping board, you're
done.
Listen, as a boy, I hate washing up. Not that girls love watching up either.
I didn't either, especially if I cooked. It's like it was a rule in our house, still is in my house now, that if I cook, I don't do the dishes. Yeah, that's why you have dishwashers.
I find that a dangerous rule in my house because
they create a mess.
Yes, and there's no forethought in I'll use this bowl and that knife and the chopping board and everything. And by the end of it, the entire kitchen is like a bomb.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right, awesome. So this is how I like to serve it. Nice chicken wings on the side, and then a very nice salad. Or sometimes I'll use like a flatter,
like a platter,
instead of using a bowl. And then I like to add it with a salad dressing, but it's not like a normal salad dressing. I use some coconut cream or coconut milk.
I love that.
Yes, so it's like a Sibalicious twist. Coconut cream, coconut milk, some limes.
Was it fresh parsley in there, or was it more coriander? More coriander.
So I do know that many people don't like not many, but some people
I know,
don't
it's
like.
an interesting thing.
Yeah, I don't understand it, but some people don't like the flavor and the taste of coriander, so they can most certainly change it with some with parsley instead, which is more slightly more neutral in flavor. Actually tastes like it's parsley is in the same family as carrots, so if you chop it up, it always tastes like a fresh
fresh
carrot.
I thought about it like that.
So in here is some coriander, which you can change into parsley, some coconut milk or cream. Yeah. I've got some soy sauce and sesame oil and some lime juice. So that's where our friend comes from. And what's great about this is that you can use this dressing to cook as a stir-fry sauce.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Oh, that's quite clever.
Yeah, so you can use this dressing as a stir-fry sauce instead of
so it works both ways again.
Yeah, so
not just a pretty face. No, it's interesting you talk about the coriander thing, because I feel that way about rockets. And then
which rocket? Wild rocket?
Yeah, I don't like it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Shut the front door.
Yeah, I really don't like it. So
bad.
I like watercress.
Oh, I love watercress.
But I think
it says watercress is punches rocket. So
no.
It is. Like that's peppery.
Rocket's got like, everyone says it won't taste peppery. I'm like, it tastes peppery after the other weird, like pungent, nasty flavor that comes before that.
I love rocket. I love it.
So I think it's an interesting thing that there's clearly those that like coriander and
those
rockets and those that don't. But I love coriander. I think it's delicious. Okay, and so you do this normally on a big platter, and everyone can kind of come in and dive in.
Yeah, that's my style of eating. So I put the food on the on the table. Everyone picks.
Yeah.
How's
that going to work with COVID now?
Well, I still do the same, but everybody, instead of taking it with their hands, they use tongs, then they use stuff around it. But in terms of my family, it's still the style I prefer.
I see you've also got some lovely black sesame seeds. I know those are delicious. Is the idea you just sprinkle those kind of over the top?
Nice sprinkle. If you can toast them, even better, because they get that nice
nuttiness even goes in.
Better, but for the purposes of this, we can just do a light sprinkle.
And what's next?
So next is eating.
No, I mean, what's next in the world for you? I'm going to get to that in a second. But where to from here?
So I am working on my next cookbook. Which we launched in August this year. And with this book,
August this year?
Not August, sorry, November.
We're in August, I'm like, wow. So in November, so just in time for Christmas. I like it, smart thinking. Cool.
November this year. And what I've done with this one, because I've partnered up with a publisher, I told them I want this, and that.
Yeah.
So they're helping me, with the wider distribution, because many people have been wanting to have a copy of the book, but self-publishing.
And all your international fans as well.
They can now finally get a copy of my cookbook.
But now this is available. This is available as an ebook now.
Ebook, yes.
Which I mean is super useful, because you can't make your way down to stores and find one. You can get it. Where is it on? Is it on
Google Play, Amazon.
Okay, so let's put a little bit on the plate there, and let's taste this amazing yumminess. And I love the color of this.
Nice and vibrant.
And I'm excited to taste that dressing again.
It's quite lovely. So there.
Okay, so how do you recommend? Can you eat this with your fingers?
Yeah, of course. So I eat with a finger, and the salad with a fork.
Perfect.
Yeah. So there we go.
Okay, so in preparation, pass me one of the napkins before I make a mess of myself here.
There you go.
Okay, so let's get stuck in. And I love how the herbs in there, all the different layers of. It's crunchy. There's a little bit of sweetness coming from the carrots and the peppers. There's this lovely creamy coconutness. The coriander is obviously there. You know, a wonderful fragrant and a perfectly cooked chicken wing here.
I'm going to go in with the wings.
Oh, it's divine. Guys, this is such a cool recipe. Please, if you want more of the how to do it, get Tina's book. We'll put the link to the book down below so you can go and buy it and check out exactly how to cook this. But thank you so much for cooking with me today and for sharing some of your wonderful talents. I want to have another bite. It's really hard actually. But thank you for sharing all your wonderful talents with our viewers, and just guys, support Siba. She's amazing. I'm sure you've seen her on TV for a long time, so you know. Come on to what are you calling your live shows? What have they got a name?
So it's masterclasses with Siba.
Masterclasses with Siba.
Every month now.
You heard it here.
Yes.
Okay, link down below.
Here it is.
There you go. Thanks so much, guys. We'll catch you next time on Lockdown.
Yum, 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 yum. Guys, there's a reason that Ben is the chef in the band. He cooks amazing food. I pretty much cooks us actually every day here in the studio. So, yeah, none of us, myself and Tim, we sort of B-grade, we sort of shoved to the back of the queue, but we love his cooking, and we're doing a lot more cooking for you guys on the Lockdown. We are also streaming, in case you're wondering why the crazy lady with the feathers on her head is streaming to the Acoustic Edamame page. We're streaming live to their page, which is super cool. They're going to be performing for us live at the end of the show, so don't go anywhere. I promise you, they are amazing musicians. You're going to love their show. So shout out to them and all their fans. Guys, we've got that announcement coming up. Don't go anywhere. I'm so excited. But before we get to that, it's been a super busy week for Good Luck. We've had lots going on here at Good Luck HQ. And so just to catch you up on everything, we have a sneak peek into the Good Luck diary. Here it is for you live on the Lockdown.
Hello, there we are. First gig after 5 months.
We got some socially distanced chairs, some stickers on the chairs. This is going to be probably the strangest gig we've ever played in terms of like not
It's a little bit
normal.
no gap at all, they say. You know, gaffer tape to a band is like milk to cereal. They go together, man. And now it's none at all was the word they used.
They're the boys on the one side of the road and the girls on the one side of the road, and they're doing a pledge to anti-gender-based violence. I think it's so cool. We've just finished our gig at Rondebosch, and they literally have stopped. They are stopping, I don't know if they're stopping the traffic, but they're literally doing a whole protest here about anti-gender-based violence. Guys, I'm proud of these kids. They're amazing. Look what they're doing. Come, let's go. How's it going, guys? How y'all doing? Hope you are doing good and you're comfy and you're having a lovely time wherever you are in the world. Just a few shout outs. We've got some epic people commenting on the side, and don't forget to comment and engage and interact. This is a family. We love to hear from you guys. Big shout out to Gareth Wilson, who's tuned into the Lockdown today. We've got a comment from Acoustic Element. They're going to be performing later on the show. Steffi Fetters commented to us. We got a shout out from all the way from Amsterdam. Guys, keep the comments rolling in. We want to see, want to hear from you, want to hear how you're doing. Hope you guys are having an epic Wednesday night. So I think I've been holding this in for long enough now. The reason I'm wearing these crazy, colorful, celebratory feathers on my head is that we have just announced, guys, that I am going to be throwing, wait for it, not just a stream, a real live birthday party. Ba, 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 ba. So excited, guys. It's been 6 months since we performed a real live show. We did our first one back this week for the kids at Rondebosch, and it was just so epic to play live music again. So we've just announced that we're going to be streaming a live DJ set on the 12th of September from the rooftop of the Radisson Red at the V&A Waterfront. Tickets are super limited, and they're going to be available through our Patreon page. We're only allowed 40 people at the show. So if you want to grab one, head over to our Patreon page. The link is just in the comment section. So yeah, go and grab the tickets, and maybe you'll be one of the 40 people to be there. If you can't be at the actual show, it's no worries, there's no stress. You can still tune in and stream the entire show live from wherever you are in the world, and it's going to be really fun. We'll have Table Mountain in the background, we'll have the sun setting, you can have a cocktail, we'll have a really good time. So yeah, very exciting news for us. And yeah, hope you guys will see you there, or we'll see you on the live stream where we'll also be able to engage, interact, and chat. So now, who is next on the show? We have got, guys, an Australian. She's from South Africa. She's currently living in Australia, and she is the co-owner of Thrivalous Sobriety. Jen Clements. Now, I actually went to school. We were school friends, Jen Clements, myself, so I know her very well. And this is a whole new topic and something that I didn't necessarily know about before chatting to Jen. Obviously, you know, being an alcoholic or not being an alcoholic, where is the limit? Where is the line? When do you know? And when do you know that sobriety is something that you actually need to look into? You know, I think everyone has a little bit of a mixed relationship with alcohol, and it's interesting to find out where is the limit. So Jen is just one of these awesome people that guides people and mentors people through that process, and I think you're going to find this interview very interesting. Whether you drink or whether you don't, stay tuned, watch this. This is myself chatting to Jen Clements. Jen, hello, welcome to the Lockdown.
Hi, Jules. Thanks so much for having me.
How's life in Australia? Are you keeping sane over that side?
Yeah, I think we're very lucky. I'm in northern New South Wales, and the COVID stuff isn't too hectic here, so we're very lucky. It's not too intense.
Oh, good to hear that. So listen, we're going to jump right in. A sobriety coach. This is a term I think that a lot of people are new to. But of course, you know, most of the world, I guess, most young people especially, you know, they would maybe consider themselves moderate drinkers and not necessarily needing a sobriety coach, you know, have a glass of wine, you have a drink there. At what point would you say it kind of transitions from being somebody who's just like a social drinker into somebody who is maybe it's becoming a problem and I am actually needing somebody to help me through this and coach me through this?
Yeah, I think that's a really important question because it gives me an opportunity to clear up what I think is quite a common misconception. I think a lot of people, when they think of a problem drinker, they immediately think of a full-blown alcoholic, you know, like a rock bottom situation. And that is just one way that problem drinking can look. It's certainly not the only way. And I think what most people do is they put drinkers into two broad categories. They think it's normal drinkers and alcoholics, and it's sort of like white and black without any gray area in between. And the term alcoholic is actually more of a slang term for somebody with a severe alcohol use disorder. And alcohol use disorder is actually the medical diagnosis for someone with a drinking problem. And this term, alcohol use disorder, actually has 3 subclassifications, which are mild, moderate, and severe. And so you actually have a spectrum or a sliding scale along which problem drinkers sit. And that can range from, you know, people in the mild alcohol use disorder category who are simply abusing alcohol, like a lot of university students would fit into that category quite neatly, to, you know, to the moderate alcohol use disorder sort of people who are more, they're probably addicted to alcohol by this stage. They've moved beyond abuse, but they're not yet at that severe rock bottom alcoholic stage. And a lot of people fit into this category that are very highly functioning, high achieving people, like high flying CEOs who drink a good bottle of wine every night come to mind, and then still get up and go to the gym in the morning, and then that severe end of the spectrum where it's somebody who is literally physically dependent on alcohol as well as addicted. They get the shakes when they're not drinking, they drink in the morning, blah, 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 all that stuff. So for me, it's not so much about, are you an alcoholic or not? It's, are you in this gray area between these two extremes of normal drinking and alcoholic? And as a sobriety coach, I offer like support and, accountability and help to anybody in that gray area, somebody who has found that drinking is no longer serving them. It's like, you don't have to have a drinking problem for drinking to have become a problem for you, if that makes sense. So if
that makes total sense. Yeah,
if they're trying to fix their drinking, like in my mind, a problem is something that you're trying to fix. So if you're trying to change your drinking behavior, moderate, manage it, rein it in, you having negative consequences as a result of your drinking, then by definition, it's become a problem for you. There's no hard and fast rules in terms of like what is and isn't a problem in terms of drinking. It's very subjective. And there are certainly red flags. I can go through some of the red flags with you if you're interested, but it really does look different for different drinkers.
For different people. Okay, now for you, obviously you decided to quit alcohol completely.
Yeah.
What led you to that decision? And then have you seen positive benefits from it? Maybe some positive benefits that people might not even consider when it comes to quitting alcohol entirely.
Yeah, sure. So for me, it was really a case of negative mental health coupled with not being able to achieve moderation in a way that suited me. So I had my drinking before kids and after kids is very different. So before kids, I was like a binge drinker, a social drinker, mainly just like on the weekends. And I mean, I loved alcohol, don't get me wrong. And I would get, drunk and sometimes black out and whatever, but it wasn't like anything that was negatively affecting my life in any major way. Then I had my first child and I had a traumatic birth experience with him. And after that, the tone of my drinking just completely changed. And I became like a nightly drinker. I was dealing with depression, anxiety, post-traumatic stress, and it became like a self-medication type of thing, as opposed to this like fun social thing. So for me, it was really a case of I was dealing with negative mental health. I was throwing everything in the kitchen sink at trying to heal and get over this kind of, I don't know, this negative dark period in my life. And it was just uncanny how the quality of my mental health deteriorated in uncanny proportion to the increase in my alcohol intake. Like the more that I drank slowly but steadily over the years following that birth, the worse my mental health became. And despite like therapy, hypnotherapy, acupuncturist, nutritionist, naturopaths, like everything I could possibly think of, but I didn't want to sort of address the drinking. Yeah. And then
it was like a crutch.
Oh, totally. It became a coping mechanism and a way of just numbing and escaping from the reality that I was going through, And so for me, when I decided, okay, maybe the drinking is becoming problematic, I'll just moderate, I'll rein it in. That's when I started realizing, oh, this is actually a problem for me, because I would set all these rules, like I'm only going to drink on the weekend or whatever. And then I would inevitably end up drinking on Wednesday. And I'd made some like very rational, logical reason for why I was breaking my rules, but I would inevitably like break my rules and I wouldn't be able to stick to them. And so, then I would change it to, okay, well, I'll just have 2 glasses of wine a night. And then I would end up going out and buying like fishbowl sized glasses of wine and end up drinking 3/4 of a bottle and 2 glasses, and like, so when I realized that I couldn't really moderate the way that I wanted to, I decided maybe abstinence will be easier for me than trying to achieve this moderation, which I find almost impossible to achieve. And that has been my experience. Abstinence has been so much easier for me.
Just saying no.
Just saying it's easier for that. But then the second part of your question.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's sorry, get to the second part, because that ties into my next question. But I want to hear the positive effects that it's had on you as well.
Yeah, so the positive effects have majorly been the mental health. Like I'm now, much happier, less anxious. I'm off all medication. You know, I've managed to get that mental health thing right after like 3 or 4 years of not being able to. So that's been an incredible benefit. And then in terms of things that like, you know, I wouldn't necessarily have expected to come from sobriety, the one thing has really been my self-esteem. Like I feel before I quit drinking, I was always quite an insecure person. And now I've got like healthy self-esteem and like self-respect for the first time in my life. And I'm like, wow, I think it's when you start acting in line with your values, you start like showing up for yourself and the people in your life in a way that you really want to. It's a beautiful thing.
Oh, that's awesome. That's amazing. But for somebody, obviously, you know, Jen, who's sitting, maybe they've acknowledged that they have a bit of a drinking problem, even if it's moderate, to mild. How difficult is it, you know, and be honest about this, to quit entirely? Because I think there is a lot of pressure as well, especially with an adult. Being an adult, you obviously go to parties, you I don't know, maybe a dinner party, and there's just one glass of wine, you know, and then it leads to 2, and it leads to 5, or whatever. How difficult is it to quit drinking entirely?
Yeah, so I think you brought up one of the biggest challenges, and that is actually trying to operate in this world where, you know, alcohol's not only socially acceptable, it's expected and often celebrated, you know, so you become the sort of odd one out when you choose not to drink, because most people drink. So that's a hard thing to navigate. But, you know, with some preparation, especially when it comes to conversations that you're going to have with people around why you don't drink and things like that, if you're prepared, and also with sober socializing, you know, there's lots of things that you can do in advance to make yourself feel more comfortable. So that's the one thing.
Oh, that's actually an interesting question just on that. Like, because I'm not a big drinker. I maybe drink 3 times a year, and it's more for the flavor of the cocktail than actual alcohol. I mean, I just want to taste the strawberries, you know. But it is a question that I come up, you know, and I'm just interested to know, like, what would be a rebuttal to somebody who asks you why you don't drink if there isn't really a reason, and you're not wanting to attack them or make them feel bad for being someone who does drink?
Yes. So I think with people that you don't know too well and you don't want to like sort of open up and share your full story with, it's often much easier to just say, like, I'm doing an alcohol-free challenge, or I'm just taking a break. When you tell people that you're quitting for good, they freak out. So it's much, much easier initially, especially when people are just sort of trying on sobriety or whatever, just I'm doing a challenge, I'm taking a break. People can accept that much easier.
Sure. That's good advice. I'm going to remember that one.
So I think one of the biggest challenges besides that social aspect is in terms of the trying to remove the desire to drink. So when you're deciding to quit, you're quitting with your rational mind, and your rational mind says, I don't want to drink anymore. But your desire to drink comes from your subconscious mind. And that's where a lot of us hold many, many untrue beliefs about alcohol, like, I need alcohol to relax, I need alcohol to socialize, I need alcohol to have fun, etc. And so if you hold on to those untrue subconscious beliefs, you find that, you know, maybe you get home from a hard day of work and you've had this conscious decision, I'm not going to drink, but then this desire comes from the subconscious, which says, I need a drink to relax. And so then you have something called cognitive dissonance, or like an inner conflict between your subconscious and your conscious mind. And that's where people tend to struggle, because they are trying not to drink, but they feel like drinking. So they start white knuckling, and then they start relying on willpower, which is a resource that, you know, can get used up. And so then they inevitably end up sort of bottoming out that willpower and potentially relapsing. So the trick is with that to do the work to achieve what's called cognitive resonance. And that's where you actually undo those subconscious beliefs around alcohol, and you train yourself to believe that there really is no benefit to drinking. You don't need it to relax. You don't need it to socialize. You don't need it to have fun, to, you know, be sophisticated, to have sex, whatever those beliefs are. And there's some really good resources that help people do that. And that helps to sort of free you from the desire to drink, which makes sobriety so much easier.
Oh, that's so interesting, you know, and I think that's definitely not knowledge that is widely shared around. And I want to get your business and your courses that you're offering, because this, I think, all plays into that. But before we get there, just one other question. You know, with COVID-19, obviously a lot of people use alcohol to de-stress. There's been a lot of stress in the world. Everyone's feeling the pinch in some way or another. You know, and now obviously in South Africa, we've had this alcohol is now widely available. People, you know, it was banned and now it's being sold again. And a lot of people are rushing back to the bottle stores to get booze to cope. You actually have a mentality or a thought process that is, instead of using this time that we're in, which is a time of kind of destabilization, to continue your drinking patterns, you think it's a wonderful time to actually pull yourself out of it and quit it. Why is that, as opposed to just going back to using it, you know, to help you?
Sure. Well, I think there's two major reasons for that opinion. The first is physical health and the second is mental health. So from a physical health perspective, alcohol weakens our immune system, which means that it makes us more susceptible to contracting infectious diseases like COVID. So we're more susceptible to it, and if we do get it, our immune system is weakened, and therefore we're less able to cope with it well. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is that from a mental health perspective, I mean, as you'll know, like the whole world is struggling with their mental health right now. You know, anxiety, depression is huge, and suicide rates are going up. It's just a really difficult time for people emotionally. And people use alcohol, as you say, to sort of cope during anxiety or stressful times. But what a lot of people don't know is that alcohol fuels and exacerbates negative mental health. So although there is an initial dopamine spike when you have a drink and you get that buzz and you feel chilled, it's very short-lived, and it's followed by an onslaught of stress hormones, including cortisol, because our brain and our body are a homeostasis-seeking organism. And so like when you have this artificial dopamine spike, the body counters it with cortisol and other stress hormones. The dopamine doesn't last long in the system. The stress hormones last a long time in the system. So what that means is people end up actually, the net effect of a drink is more stress in the body, not less. And people experience this with anxiety, you know, when you wake up a bit hungover and anxious. And so although there's a misconception that alcohol relaxes us, it actually doesn't. So I think when people are using it to cope, it's actually not a great coping mechanism.
Oh, Jen, this has been so fascinating. I'm really interested. It's like, and you've opened up my mind to a world of possibilities of this. But, you know, if somebody's sitting on the fence about giving sobriety a bash, but is interested in what you have to offer, because you've got a course coming up, which is so exciting. Just talk us through what that course entails, you know, and what would you say to those people who are kind of just chilling on the fence, going like, I'm interested, but I'm like, no, I'm not sure. You know, just tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, thanks, Jules. So first of all, like for anybody sitting on the fence in terms of sobriety, I would say to those people, give it a try, because you don't have to commit to quitting forever. You can just commit to taking a break from alcohol. And there's nothing wrong with giving your body a bit of a detox and giving yourself an opportunity to experience 60 days or 90 days alcohol free. That can only do you good. And if it's not better sober, you can always go back to drinking, because alcohol is always going to be there. So that's my sort of advice to anybody on the fence. In terms of the course, so yeah, it's basically an 8-week course. It's 1 module per week, and it's all about giving people the tools and the strategies and the techniques and the information that they need to quit drinking with relative ease. I don't want to say with ease, because quitting isn't easy, but it's also about giving people tools to really craft a beautiful life in sobriety, so that they can thrive and, you know, create the best life that they can for themselves. And there's lots of accountability and support. We have like weekly coaching calls. We have a Facebook group, a private group, where we on there every day supporting people. Our students partner up and they have buddy accountability as well. So there's lots of accountability, support, love. It's so rad. It's mainly women. And it's just such a warm, nurturing environment. Trying to get sober on your own is hard. Doing it in a group is so much easier.
just out of interest, you know, like age-wise, it's never too late. You're never too old. You're never too young. No. It's open to everyone, right? It's
open to everyone. I would say the average age in our course is between sort of 35 and 50, but we have some women in their 60s and we have some women in their 20s. So, okay, you know, it's really across the board.
Brilliant. Well, Jen, hopefully a lot of people watching this are going to reach out to you and join your course, because I think it sounds like a phenomenal one, and just connecting with you and your energy is a beautiful thing. I just want to say thank you so much for coming on the show and explaining these very interesting points about alcoholism. And I thank you so much, and we'll hopefully see you soon.
Thanks, Jules. It's been a pleasure.
Cheers. Oh, well, you know, it's live TV, and sometimes the batteries on your little link pack run out. Sorry, guys. Anyway, we're back. We just gave you a long blast of my birthday poster there. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Listen, already we've had, in the last 5 minutes, we've had 3 people buy tickets. Gina Van Zyl, Loes Ackerman, and Stephen Frost. Guys, shout out to you, and we can't wait to see at the party. It's going to be such a jam. And speaking of birthdays, I thought we would surprise call one of my favorite people. He's a regular viewer on the LUCKDOWN. Not only that, he also was our very, very first patron when we first signed up to Patreon. So he's like a real awesome human being and an awesome fan. We have so much time for this guy. He's kind. He's got creative ideas. And I'm going to call him. I'm going to surprise him. His name's Brian Marks. And today is actually his birthday. So I'm wearing this hat. And let's see if we can get him on the line here. Can you hear that? Hope you can hear that. Brian.
Oh.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, my Brian. Happy birthday to you. Yay! You're live on the LUCKDOWN.
Possibly the most harmonic birthday singing I've ever had in my life.
Oh, really? I'm so glad. Listen, dude, I just wanted to say, you're such an awesome person, and thanks for all your creative contribution and for being such an incredible fan of the show. Like, what do you love about the show? Because I think you are number one supporter in my view, and I love your vibe.
So your show brings happiness to everybody, and I think that's the strongest message that you guys as a band bring.
Aww.
That it's about positivity across the board. You know, whether it's your donations of food parcels, whether it's your general vibe, whether it's just getting up and having a smile, it's the whole package.
Oh, dude.
That's what's awesome about it. So.
Oh, dude, thank you so much. And listen, like, we've taken so many creative tips from you. If you didn't know, Brian was the guy who was sending us all the TikToks in the beginning when we were doing our favorite TikTokies. This was all coming from Brian. He's got such a great vibe and such a great sense of humor. Thank you for your creativity and thank you for always your encouragement and support. We love you, dude. And happy freaking birthday to you.
Thanks so much, Jules. It's a really nice surprise.
Lots of love. Oh, that's Brian. Brian Marks, guys, our first ever Patreon and such a legend. And speaking of birthdays, speaking of bands, speaking of good luck, guys, we've got a new segment on the show. And I'm so excited about this because, you know, we acquired, we found, we unearthed an incredible new talent just before lockdown. He is a band member of Good Luck. He plays the saxophone, he plays the keyboards, and he's been very much hiding in the background, you know, just casually kind of editing most of the interviews and being a complete legend. But I know that you haven't seen a lot of him. So we thought it's time that you guys get to know Tim. It's time that he takes you on adventures. It's time that Tim takes us to somewhere epic. So we've got this new feature, which is called Tim Takes Us To. And today, this week, Tim is going to be taking us to our backyard in Cape Town, to the Sea Point Promenade for some hybrid e-biking. You guys are going to love this. Tim takes us to...
How's it, guys? Welcome to the first episode of Tim Takes You Outside. We're here at Cape Town Sea Point Promenade and we are at the electric bikes. They're these awesome like hybrid bikes and scooters, and they've been super kind to us to let us have these for the morning, and we're going to be exploring the promenade and checking out all the cool things the promenade has to offer. Oh, is this the accelerator? Yes! Okay, cool. Okay, Cape Town Electric. Let's see what we can pick our bike. Yo! Yeah, I'm getting the hang of it. It's quite tricky at first. Such an epic day here on the promenade. Check it out. Like, Cape Town has so much to offer. There's like this epic little animal shelter type setup here where you can come and possibly adopt a dog, doing all the good things.
We are Wolf Project. We take dogs from existing shelters around Cape Town and we just want to show people that there are amazing dogs sitting in shelters. You don't have to go to a breeder for an awesome dog.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have amazing dogs available for happy adults.
The ladies are speaking to say you can come here and walk the dog a little bit along the promenade.
Yes, for about 15 minutes. It just helps them just chill out, calm down. And I mean, then sometimes some of the dog walkers end up adopting the dog. So it's awesome.
What a good vibe. And you here every day?
Every weekend.
Every weekend.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Cool, man. Well, thanks. And it's Oscar's art. Okay?
Yes, Oscar's art book project.
Awesome, cool. Thanks so much. Tons of people running, walking, like getting in that active, healthy lifestyle. Super cool to see. You guys, when we came across an outdoor gym. Now, gym's super controversial at the moment. Like, they've just opened up. Would you go personally to go to a gym with a mask? Not a vibe. But this is Kev because you outdoors. There's some equipment to use, like the airflow, the Rona. Maybe a couple steps better, safer than a normal gym. But yeah, like you can come here, you can work out here. It's outdoors, it's a good vibe. People are all exercising. Good times, corona-free. What a time to be alive. Okay, check it out, guys. I was saying earlier about the kayaking. So this is where they launch off from. So you rent your kayaks here, you get a guide, they take you out. I mean, check it this day. Like, if you're from Cape Town, if you're not from Cape Town, like this is such an epic thing to do right on our doorstep. So awesome. Yo guys, we've just stumbled across some hut in Sea Point here. So epic. It's at the end of the promenade, sort of beginning of Mealy Point, and we're gonna play a hole or two and see how it goes. Alright. I reckon that's actually terrible, but I reckon I can get this. I reckon I can get this in 5 shots. So that's 4 more shots. But 3 more shots. Ooh, there we go, guys. Last shot. I've got a little secret tip for you. If you're going to do this promenade mission, this is how you need to start the day. You wake up, have a coffee, maybe a rusk, that's it. You don't have breakfast. So you come here, you got the coffee going, you mission around, you do all these epic things, then you're going to start to get a bit hungry, and that's when you head to the Ranjazut Farmers Market. Follow us, I'm going to show you what that has to offer. We just made it to Ranjazut Farmers Market. We're going looking for some chow. Super cool in here, super nice. Let's go see what they got. We are going to grab some golden brown waffles. Check them out online. We're at the farmers market. Check out how good that looks. Explosion. Yo guys, so this is why you only have a coffee and a rusk in the morning when you come to promenade, because this is what's waiting for you. Oh, we've come to the top of Fresno. How beautiful is this? You can see Clifton down there, Campbell on the corner. We live in such a beautiful place. Once again, thank you so much to Cape Town Electric for giving us these epic bikes that have taken us all around Sea Point. What a day. Make sure you get down to the promenade.
That was cool. That was super cool. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I was just like, Cape Town's got some good spots. And I think often we just forget that all the stuff is on our backyard. So this is going to be a regular feature that we have, guys. Really, Tim's going to take us to so many exciting places. He's going to take us on so many cool adventures. So keep tuning into the LUCKDOWN. Keep being a part of the family. How you can do that, you can follow the LUCKDOWN on Instagram and Facebook. The links should be right over here on your screen, hopefully. If Ben is doing his job properly. Maybe he is, maybe. Yep, there we go. So follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook, connect with us, message us. If you've got people that you think should be on the show, who are very inspiring, who are positive, out there making change, changing the world for good, being good humans, we want them on the show. We want to chat to them. So do send us DMs of who you would suggest. And then, guys, the party that we've just announced, if you missed it, very exciting. I've just announced my birthday party. I'm confusing everyone. I've had about 20 phone calls since I made the post because everyone thinks it's my actual birthday today. It's not my birthday today. My birthday is on the 11th of September, and we're having the party on the 12th of September at the Radisson Red. So you can check it out right here. You guys can go and get tickets on Patreon. It's super simple. You can either stream the concert from the comfort of your home, or if you want to come out and you're in Cape Town and you feel like a bit of a break from just being indoors and at home all the time, you can actually join us at the party. There are only going to be 40 tickets for sale where you can come and actually celebrate with us at the Radisson Red. There'll be a fully stocked bar. There'll be food. It's going to be such a jam. So hopefully you'll see lots of you there. And then if you're anywhere in the world and you just want to be involved and be part of the vibe, we will have you guys on Zoom calls. We'll have the stream going, and we're going to have Table Mountain in the background, sun setting, and we'll be jamming a live DJ set. So it's going to be epic. And speaking of epic music, we have got one of my favorite electronic duos now coming up on the show. If you don't know them by now, you should know them because they've been doing a lot of live streams. They're proudly Cape Townian. They mix live instruments with electronic music, much like we do as well. So tonight we're playing out with the awesome local duo, Acoustic Element. You can check them out at Acoustic Element or on their website, acousticelement.co.za. They're going to be doing a cover of Shawn Mendes and Camilo Cabello, Señorita. We all know that one. We all love that one. So until next time, everybody love everybody. We love you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Good night and good luck.
directly to what happened.
The coronavirus pandemic.
Yes.